Hey everybody, good afternoon and welcome to Bull City Hangout 114. Today would be my grandmother's, my mom's 123rd birthday if she were alive. Wow. Anyway, so I am Pat Murray. I do the Durham Skywriter. That's Durham's online community paper, which you can check out at durhamskywriter.com. Now, with Bull City Hangout, I tell you what's happening today in Durham. I invite you to click on that link on the Facebook side. Join me on camera. I do hope that Harold Hubbard remembers to try again. He tried again. He tried last Friday to join us on Bull City Hangout, and somehow the connection just didn't work. He's from Pitbull Martial Arts, so I do hope that he can join us. Okay, so let's get started with the Bull City Hangout. Let's see. Let's start out with the word page. Oh, I am very excited to announce that the ERAP program is back. Let me tell you about it. It's run by, it's like a combination city and county of Durham program. It stands for the Durham Emergency Rental Assistance Program. As you might know, it was, let's just say, it kind of ran its course, so to speak. It was halting in October. They're bringing it back for people who need help, because people still need help, seriously, because of COVID. Things are just getting ridiculous in some areas. So here's the thing. If you do sign up for the Durham Emergency Rental Assistance Program, and the link is right there on the word page, and you are accepted into the program, you will get help for up to 12 months. That includes rent in arrears going forward. And if they have the same rules that they had last time, you can get help for up to 15 months if necessary. So, and we're talking about rent. We're also talking about electricity, gas, water, whatever. So trash removal, if that's what your community uses. So anyway, I'm very happy that it's back. So sign up for that if you need it. Also, another program that came back, this one's run by Durham County. The Low-Income Homeowners Relief Program is back. The new deadline is the end of this month. It was the end of last month. And now, because not enough people signed up, and they still have the money in their hands that they want to help people. So if you do need help paying your property tax, then go ahead and sign up for this. This is for low-income people. They're really generous, what they call low income. So if you're curious, read the article on the word page and see if you qualify. So here's the thing. You do have to have lived in your house in Durham County for at least 10 years to be eligible for this particular program. Okay, two other programs I'm going to mention: the Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. The city has a program and the county has a program, both for people who have fallen behind in their water bill. Also, there is the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, also known as LEAP, and that is for people who are having trouble or think they anticipate having trouble paying their heating bill. They make the payments directly to Duke Energy or whoever you're getting your heat from, so they can make payments of $300, $400, or $500 to help you out. So definitely, even if you're not behind yet, but you know that the bills are higher in winter, and you might have trouble paying for your heating bill, go ahead and sign up. Okay, and like I said, the county hates to send money back. So if you are even thinking that you might be eligible for any of these programs, just go ahead and sign up, because at the very worst, they'll say no. But if you are indeed in need, they'll probably say yes. All righty, let's see what else is happening on the word page. The Durham County libraries are all open until 6, and that does include Bragtown. Let's see what's going on with Keep Durham Beautiful, because MLK Day of Service is actually this coming Monday. And they're running two programs. They're not the only people running programs. But let's just say that there are two that you can sign up for through Keep Durham Beautiful. The Durham YMCA litter cleanup at American Tobacco Trail. That's going to be Monday from 11:30 until 1. They do provide everything, the gloves and the trash bags, pickup sticks, etc. They're also going to be collaborating with Book Harvest, the Book Harvest Dream Big Book Drive. That's going to be in Durham Central Park on Monday. I do hope I have to check the weather for Monday, because I know there's a weather advisory for the weekend. I'll check it when I do the weather report. But anyway, so you can help out at Durham Central Park. This is going to be from 1 until 4. All righty. What else is on the word page? NC Raise Up. They're having a program as well. Now, this is going to be tomorrow, where they help people who are elderly. They're holding their Fed Up Wintertime Elder Care Distribution, where volunteers will help stuff 500 bags of goodies for seniors. They're still hoping that people can make donations. So we're talking about like soap and just all kinds of different things. Whatever you can think of that can help seniors, they'll probably accept them. You can actually see the wish list, which is listed right there on the word page. I see where Harold Hubbard, it looks like oh shoot, it's still not working for him. Man, he left me a private chat. Let me see what he's saying. Email the link. Okay, let me try to do that. Okay, folks, give me a second. Let me just do this real quick. So I'm going to email Mr. Hubbard the link. So let me go to invite. Let's see. Copy Gmail. Let me just send it to him. There it is. Okay, let me go ahead and make the link viable and then send him the link so that he can join us. Darn, it didn't work. Okay, let me try it again. Give me a second, folks. Give me a second, because I really would like to have him on as a guest. So give me a second here. Let me get his email address again. And let me try that. Go to invite and see if this works. Okay. All right. So I sent it to him, and we'll see if he can join us later, because I really want you to hear more about the, let's see, let me close this window. Pitbull Martial Arts. I do want you to hear directly from him. Okay, let's see. So I was telling you about the NC Raise Up. So they do need volunteers to help distribute 500 goodie bags to seniors in need. It's going to be tomorrow, and I think they start around 11:30-ish, and they do need people for the second shift. I do remember seeing that. So you can sign up for that at your convenience. All righty. So let's see. I think that's it for the word page. Now let's go to the health page, to your health. And I do have your COVID-19, your test and vaccine updates. And in fact, let's see where you can get tested today. There's some new places that were announced. So let's see. Let me scroll down here. Let me see. So El Centro Hispano is where you can get tested today, and that is until 6. They do have drive-through available. A lot of people are, oh, it worked this time. Yes, we'll get to hear from Harold Hubbard from Pitbull Martial Arts. Yes. So if you could just hold on till after I do the weather. Awesome. Yes. Okay. All righty, let's see. Oh, let me tell you about HELP. You've probably heard about HELP if you're a regular viewer of Bull City Hangout. HELP stands for the Health Equipment Loan Program. They are open on Tuesdays and Fridays. They're on North Roxborough Street. Basically, this is a county program run by Project Access. So basically, you donate whatever you have around the house that you no longer need, that people with disabilities or injuries can use, like wheelchairs, pickup sticks, et cetera, tub transfer benches, that sort of thing. And then they clean them, they fix them if they need fixing, and then they long-term loan them to people who need them, people who have been recently injured, or people with disabilities, or elderly people, whatever. So they're open today from 1 until 5. So you can go and check them out. And if you have something to donate, they would love that. All righty, let's click now on the health events button. That is the big blue button at the top of the health page. This takes you to a page where you can find out about support groups and one-off events that are health related. Excuse me. So you can sign up tomorrow, Med Ultra Learning. They're having their free infant CPR and choking class. It's going to be tomorrow from 1 until 2. It's free. It's online. And this is for regular folks. This is a layperson's course, not for medical professionals. I guess they probably get more intensive training. But for us regular folks, you can learn online from 1 until 2, and it's free, authorized by the American Heart Association, which is awesome. Also, on the MLK Day of Service, which is this coming Monday, the Fisher Memorial United Holy Church on Piedmont Avenue, that is right off of Roxborough Street. So here's the thing. They're going to have free COVID vaccinations. So you can sign up. You can get your set an appointment to do that. Also, let's see. Oh, you can also donate blood. As you know, we're at a 10 plus year low when it comes to blood supplies. Urgently needed. So the Blood Connection mobile unit will be there, and they'll be thrilled if you would like to donate some blood. All righty. And let's see. Oh, I have to give huge shout outs to Porch Durham and the African American COVID Task Force. They're the ones running this program. They will also be at Mount Vernon Church on Monday from 10 until 2 with COVID tests. There you go. So make your appointments now, and you can check out the links by going to the health events page. Click on the big blue button on the health page. All right, now let's go to the senior page, Senior Scope. Let me see what's happening with the Durham Center for Senior Life. They have movies on Friday. I don't know if you're aware of that, but starting at 12:30, if you happen to be in the area, you can rush down there. And they're showing The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. So actually, you do need to call first because they only allow a certain number of people in the theater. And if you're just now realizing that the Durham Center for Senior Life has a theater, it's awesome. So if you can't go this week, then just go next week. They'll be showing the movie Super Size Me. I've heard of that one. I think that's where the guy eats fast food for a certain amount of time and he gains an enormous, frightening amount of weight. So I don't know if you want to see that, but if you do, it's going to be next Friday at 12:30 if you missed today's movie. All right. Oh, also sign up. Let's see, on Monday, not this coming Monday, but next Monday, the 24th, the Durham County Sheriff's Department, they're going to give a hybrid in-person and online presentation on frauds and scams. So you can find out how to protect yourself. All righty, let's now go to the Let's Go page. That is the last page that we will be visiting. That is the calendar of events page. It's called Let's Go. So let's click on that. And then let's scroll down to the 14th. Let's see what's happening today. Oh, this is going on right now. Speaking of NC Raise Up, so NC Raise Up, along with the NC Poor People's Campaign and the Carolina Jews for Justice, they're hosting Fed Up political food distribution as we speak until 1 o'clock in the Lakewood Shopping Center. Basically, it's a grocery giveaway. It already started. It's going into 1, and they're served by the 10 and the 10B bus. Be sure to have a rollaway cart if you can. If you're driving, pop open the trunk or open the back door, and they will slide in the food. Okay, let's see. New Visions of Africa restaurant. They'll be giving away free meals today from 3 until 6. They do this every weekday. So just stop by, and they're served by the 5 and 5K bus. Singer guitarist Steven Munoz, he'll be leading Lojo, which is Log Off, Jam On. It's like an after-work set from 5 until 7 at the Boxyard RTP. It's outside. It's a little airish outside today, so I'm guessing that they have those little cool heaters. I'm just guessing. I'm hoping. So that's going to be today from 5 until 7, and you can grab your guitar, saxophone, or whatever, and I'll actually join Mr. Munoz on stage and share your musical gifts if you'd like to do that. Marva's Fun is going to have her Stay Well virtual line dance class from 7 until 8, and that is, oh, wait a minute. I think it's 6:30 until 7:30 today. But anyway, in any case, it's a great way to learn how to do line dances to prepare for hopefully next year's family reunions and summertime parties. Now, very quickly, I'm just going to run through what's going to happen tomorrow morning. Just to let you know, South Durham Farmers Market, their winter hours are 9 until noon in the Greenwood Commons Shopping Center, south on Highway 55. District 1 PAC meeting, Partners Against Crime, they're meeting online at 9:30. Durham Farmers Market downtown in Durham Central Park, winter hours 10 until noon. And also the Family Saturday series is back, Carolina Theater of Durham downtown. Tomorrow's guest artist is going to be Donna Washington. I haven't seen her in years. She is like the best storyteller. This is going to be an awesome event. It's an in-person event starting at 11 o'clock. Tickets are only $5. So I have the link for you to click and get your ticket. So that should be really, really great. You do have to prove that you've been vaccinated for COVID. That's just, you should just know that. I think that's it. The show starts at 11 o'clock. Let's check the weather very quickly and then bring on Mr. Harold Hubbard. It's 52 right now. It's sunny. It's going up to 54. It's going to be partly sunny in just a very short while. And then it'll start getting cloudy. Now tomorrow, it's only going to reach 41 degrees and it's going to be cloudy all day. Now try to get as much done tomorrow as possible or today in terms of grocery shopping, etc. Because apparently starting late tomorrow, there's going to be a winter advisory. People are talking about ice storms and just bad conditions on the street. As you know, we're in the South. I shouldn't say this because we're in the South, but some of the bigger southern cities do have salt and whatnot. We don't. So, so if there's going to be ice on the street, you want to be inside. So just be prepared for that. And again, the weather's only going to be, or the temperature is only going to be 41. Let's see what it's going to be on Monday. Because if we have ice on the streets, hopefully they'll be gone by Monday. So let's see what it's going to be on Monday because that's MLK Day of Service. So let me check my 10-day. Let's see. Let me see. Friday 54. Okay. Sunday 41. I said that. Okay. Monday 44. It's not the best. Anyway, let us bring on Mr. Harold Hubbard. Let's learn about martial arts. Let's bring him on now. You made it. Yes.
Yes. How's it going?
Doing great. How about you?
I can't complain. I'm actually happy to be on. Last week, we ran into some technical difficulties, so I couldn't come on.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make it this time. So tell us who you are and what you do.
My name's Harold Hubbard. I'm the owner and founder of Pitbull Martial Arts, where we teach martial arts to underserved, underprivileged communities throughout the Durham area. We teach boxing, kickboxing, self-defense, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Luta Livre, and MMA.
Okay. Now, the different types of martial art, I think we've all heard of judo and karate, but
Yeah.
tell us describe the kind of martial arts that you teach, because I think most of us probably haven't heard of the Brazilian martial arts and jiu-jitsu.
Okay. The for lack of better words, I try to explain it to people. Um, Brazilian Luta Livre and Jiu Jitsu is a wrestling style where you put your training partner or opponent in submission holds. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
combination of American style wrestling and Japanese judo. So it's a combination that was created that made its own style. So it's a mix of traditional wrestling with submission holds similar to what judo does. So jujitsu was founded off of judo's back, and then it morphed in and made its own martial arts form.
Okay. Is it good for self-defense?
Absolutely, absolutely. So when we teach self-defense, I actually have a seminar I'm going to do with the women of Gamma sorority at North Carolina Central, January 20th. So when we teach
Good.
self-defense, it is important because the martial arts has its components where you use self-defense as part of the art, and then you grow and you develop as a martial artist, starting with self-defense for some, and then you grow into it and continuously learning about the different aspects of martial arts, and then it begins to mushroom into a full-blown art where you do the self-defense, the competition, athletic style. Then some people even desire to go even further and begin to transition into mixed martial arts.
Now that's where everything goes, right? They're just kicking and hitting and doing all
Kicking,
kinds of
punching,
things,
elbow, yeah.
throwing things. Not throwing things, but it's all like different kind of like punching, all kinds of different things, right?
Yes, kicking,
Hopefully
punching.
not like that.
It's not going well if it turns out like that. It's not going well.
Oh my goodness. Let me ask you what the goal is when it comes to self-defense, because thank God I've never been attacked. But when it comes to your protecting yourself from an assailant, is the goal to hold on to, disarm him and hold on to him until the police arrive, or to disarm him to the point where you get away, or
So,
to make him totally like unconscious?
so here's the popular misconception that people think about when we talk about self-defense. Self-defense breaks down into a couple of phases. The early stage where you recognize a situation that could possibly be about to occur. A situation is already at your doorstep where now you got to make a decision of what to do, and then the situation is actually happening. So now what do I do? So when we talk about self-defense, we always start with, if you see a situation that doesn't look well, you should always flee the situation. So if you see something that could possibly break off into a full-on physical confrontation, it's your responsibility to get out of there safely and leave. If that means run, you run. If that means you get somebody else to come in between you, if it's a situation possible, you get someone to be like an emissary and get in between the situation. But whatever the case may be, you always want to try to remove yourself from any physical confrontation because you don't actually know how the situation could go. So first and foremost, get out of the situation. If it's something that's about to occur, you want to always be able to leave. Okay. If the situation has actually been placed on your doorstep, now you have to actually do what you're capable of to stay safe. Because the ultimate goal, once this situation has come to your doorstep and it actually has escalated to where you have to physically do something, is now about just making sure you get home safe. There's no one size fit all in self-defense. So at the end of the day, people are like, I want to get home safe. Sometimes safe has its own range. So when I say get home, that means if I get home, I defended myself and I got a black eye, that's not what I want, but I want to get home. That means me getting home
Exactly.
with a fat lip, I want to get home. I don't want to be one of those people who like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. That situation,
Citizens arrest and all that kind of stuff.
right? All of that stuff, I feel like is movie. All I really want to do is go home and be able to wake up the next day, however that may
It's just
occur.
frustrating though, because you want the police to get them.
Well, if you can go home, there's a high probability that the police can get them. So
Okay, but get home first.
You can't tell the police anything if you're not home. And so the most important piece is get to your home, which means you're still alive. You still have your faculties and functions. So now when you actually speaking to the police that later that night, that day, whatever the case may be, you can now give some type of descriptors. Hey, he looked this way. Hey, she did this. And so we always want to look at it from the aspect of going home. That's my ultimate
Actually,
goal.
they say try to scratch him in some kind of way so you can have some of his DNA under. I'm saying his or her DNA under your fingernails, and that might be a good way to capture someone who's on record.
Well, if you do, that never will hurt. But as you just said, that's if that name is on record. A lot of times people don't realize most people that you come in contact with doesn't mean they're a good or bad person, but it also doesn't rule it out. And it also means they may or may never been into the system. So when I think about self-defense and defending myself, and I talk to students at different places, my gym or other places when I go out and teach, get home. I don't have, so what people think is, so when I teach self-defense, I don't teach katas. I don't teach every situation is the same because every situation is not the same. So,
and just to explain, kata is the demonstration form of martial arts,
more traditional martial arts. So you'll go through a set routine of defend and block. You go through a set routine on the opposite side, defend and block. So when we talk about self-defense is the most likely occurrence, but also being able to understand that the situation is never going to be the same. If you get attacked 10 times in a row, the person is going to be physically different. The person is going to have physically capabilities. The situation, the person may be on something, drinking, drugs, whatever the case may be. And so how you respond to each situation will never be the same. So if we always practice self-defense the same way, I feel like it'll give you a false sense, like you're a self-defense expert. There's no such thing as self-defense experts because every situation is different. Every situation can morph and escalate into a different aspect. So there's no way that you can always master something. Similar to how you can say, I've mastered boxing, kickboxing, because I can handle every situation that comes because it has a rule set. Attacks in the street doesn't have a rule set, so a person can go as far as they want to go with the situation.
You know why I'm so glad you're saying this? I'll tell you why. I have heard that people like me that's never had to deal with violence. Okay, I was in one fight in high school. Besides that, most of us aren't thinking self-defense. And they say many women, I don't know about men, but they're talking about women. They say very often when women are encountered with violence, whatever, they freeze. Now I have a friend, childhood friend, who had training in martial arts, and she was bothered on public transportation, and she said she froze. I was like, you should have knocked him out. But that's the thing. If I guess you can have martial art, you can have all the training in the world, but I guess if you don't have specific training in self-defense where it's situational, like what you just explained, you're just gonna freeze.
So one of the things that we talk about, and I make sure I try to always repeat and make sure people understand what we're presenting is violence is not natural to human beings. So even though I've been training martial arts most of my life in different art forms, that is a sport. I participated in combat sports. That is something that I understand rules are placed that if something goes wrong, people are there to step in. Violence is uncontrolled. It's like a fire. Once you set the fire and put it to dry branches, you are no longer in control of how it can flame out and go all over the community. So when we talk about violence, we have to understand you will freeze because it's not natural. What you're trying to do when you train is get yourself to not freeze to a point of where it's detrimental to your overall health. If someone comes up and grab you, it's natural that you're gonna flinch. Like what?
Oh, it looks like he froze, folks. He might have a slow internet connection. Let's just give him a minute to hope it comes back.
I think I went out.
Yeah. I think internet. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. But yeah, so when we talking about self-defense, it's natural because violence is not natural to human beings. It's something that has grown, as we used an analogy of a fire earlier. It has now been sparked and it's out of hand. So the same thing when people attack you individually, when they grab, punch, push, shove, whatever hit, whatever the case may be, it's natural to go and freeze. But now you have to go back and say in your training, I prepared for the situation. I understand that this could have always happened, but now it's at my doorstep. How do I answer the call? Or how do I answer the doorbell ringing? And then you must go into your training and believe in the trust in the process that you trained the right way and you did the work.
Now, I'm going to ask one more question before I ask you about Pitbull. So talking about the goal again, you said the goal is to get home.
The goal is to get home.
So you're not really trying to like kill people, right?
So here's how I teach it.
One, that's not an inappropriate question.
No, that's legit. We live in a day society where people are actually taking your life. So the first goal, regardless of who it is, and I always like to tell people, men get attacked, women get attacked. I've been into conflict and I've trained martial arts my whole life. I started boxing when I was in middle school. So I've always been in martial arts, played college football. So I'm a nice sized guy. I still have been bothered. I still have people who feel like they can come start something with me, not knowing what my background is. So men and women can be attacked. I always explain the situations like this. My style of attack, or the reason behind my attack, I tell people it will be different than what women have to face. So when I talk about attacks, I tell women, most instances, you have one of three scenarios that you have to be understanding is possibly on the table. Someone wants to sexually assault you of any variety. Someone wants to rob you, then kill you, or a combination of all three, and they never have to be in that particular order. Most occurrences when men get attacked, because men can be sexually assaulted, but most occurrences, statistically speaking, men are either getting attacked to be robbed or to be taking their lives. So those two things on the table. But what I tell people, regardless of what's on the table, what people are presenting you, you don't have that right and you don't have that type of sway with me. If you make those conscious decisions to come and attack me and put your hands on me and I can't get away from the situation, now I have to use all my abilities to do what needs to be done. It is not that I'm teaching people to break your arm, to kill you. Initially, I'm teaching people to remove yourself from the situation. If someone allows me to walk away, I'll walk away. Someone allows me to run, I'll run. Not that, I know what I'm capable of. I don't have to prove it to anybody. But if I can run away from the situation, I will. What I will not do once the situation has began, go soft on anyone. So if you put your hand on me and I can't run, I have every intention of you not going back home the same way. I have every intention of taking myself back fully with everything I came with. However, I don't have any intention or desire to allow you to go back home the same way you came. However that
I
may
understand.
transpire, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I understand, and we don't have to take it any further than that. So, where is Pit Bull Martial Arts, and do you have like classes or one-on-one classes?
So we do both, or we do a multiple of options. We do private training, and we're located at the UDI Center in downtown Durham, the UDI Resource Center of 800 North Mangum Street, and we teach private classes. We do small group classes, and then we actually have the classes that's on the schedule for the members of the gym.
Nice, nice. So, when you say gym, I think of like weights and mats and all that kind of. So, what do you have in your gym?
So we have mats and heavy bags up in the gym. We don't actually have weights. We're
Mm-hmm.
primarily a martial arts gym. We're not gym. We're not like a fitness
Okay.
center gym. So we
Okay.
actually have what we need to teach the martial arts that we teach, and that's all we actually have in our facility.
And those bags you're talking about, is that like in the movies where they're hitting those
Yes,
bags? Yeah.
they're hitting kids, hitting, kicking, punching, kneeing, and
Mhm.
elbowing these particular bags.
Okay. So are your classes and training for kids and or adults separately together, or how does that work?
So our classes are broken up by age. So we do kids currently, we do adult classes, and then we also do women only classes, and then we also do a striking class. So our classes are broken up: kids class, women's only class, striking, and then the full on class, which is a co-ed class where we go over grappling in all the settings.
Okay. Now, do you call your, because I know the word dojo, is that only for a certain kind of martial arts?
Um,
Because
I
it's
do
not
not
called a
call
dojo, right?
no, ma'am. It's called. I call it a gym for martial arts
Okay.
studio.
Okay. Okay.
So,
So do you train for those? You know how you watch those movies like Karate Kid where you're in training and then you go against another team, and so is your training just for self-defense purposes or for competition or both?
we do all of it. So, I didn't say in my early introduction, I'm a professional MMA fighter. I've traveled all over the world competing
Oh,
in South America throughout the states, but I also coach. I have one of the better fighters in the Southeast region, best lightweight in the area, Dewan Owens, that I work with, and we have some amateur fighters, Javier Lopez, and different guys that come through the gym. So we compete professionally ourselves. We also have amateur fighters. We do kickboxing. We do MMA, and we take them and do all those particular arts. So we train for competition. We train for self betterment, fitness. So we're getting prepared for the total aspect of life in the gym, using martial arts as our forefront or our opportunity to engage with others in the community.
that's great. Now, how can people connect with you?
If you look us up, we have social media, uh, Pitbull Martial Arts Center USA, um, Facebook, Instagram. We on both of those platforms. Um, I will say my coach's gym is named Pitbull Martial Arts, and it's in Lima, Peru. So if you look up Lima, Peru, that is not us. My coach's gym is in Lima, Peru. Ours just has USA added to it. So it's
Mhm.
PMAC USA. That will get you to the gym in Durham.
Okay.
If you don't put the USA on it, you'll go to Peru and I won't be there.
Yeah, let's make sure you end up in Durham. So
Absolutely.
this sounds really, really great. And I guess martial arts is a good way to stay fit as well.
Absolutely. I came into competing and training back in martial arts after I finished playing college football after 3 years. And so I wanted to still be active. I still wanted to be competitive and wanted to be involved in some type of activity. And martial arts was the one I felt like would challenge me the most. It got me in a great shape, and it continues to maintain the ability to go and train and compete. Even as I get older and older, I can still do it. So it definitely has that component of physical fitness. It also make my days go by easier because I know at the end of the day, I get to go to the gym, punch, kick stuff, grapple, wrestle. So
Get it all out.
yeah, it has an aspect of the psychological that it benefits me as well, and social.
Nice. But you know what? For young people, well, maybe not just young people, women too, or just people in general, I'll bet if you get really good with martial arts, it really helps with your confidence. Confidence is so, so, so important, especially for kids. I mean, and as far as women and just people in general, I guess just knowing you can beat somebody's butt if you wanted to would give you confidence. But also, I think more important, just knowing that you can handle yourself and not have to be afraid of everything and everybody. Because I hear people saying, "Ooh, I go in when ooh, 6 o'clock, it's starting to get dark. I better get in." I'm like, that's really sad to feel that you have to be inside at a certain time just because it's dark out. I say
Well,
this as a person who's almost 6 feet tall and never really felt timid. Although I can't fight, I never felt that I never had that timid thing that a lot of ladies have who are understandably smaller. My mom was only 5'6", she was under 5'6", so I get my height from my dad. But yeah, my mom had that timid sense, where she felt threatened pretty easily.
well, let me say this. We try to repackage it because I'll say this. Living in Durham, and I've been up here since 2002, I call it just
Okay.
being aware of my surroundings. So I don't walk around timid or tippet. I just actually make sure when I walk outside, my head is on a swivel. I know who's on my 6, who's on my 3. I just need to be able to understand that's a person, there's a person,
Mhm.
there's a group. So I always try to tell people I don't move timidly, I don't move scarily, I move awarely. So when I go
Mhm.
out the gym, I need to be looking to see who's out the door, where people standing. Because when we talk about self-defense, the first rule of self-defense is situational awareness. I need to know
Hmm.
who's standing around. Do they look like they're looking for me? Do they look like they're looking for trouble? Are they trying to be confrontational?
Hmm.
I need to read people's disposition and demeanor so I can move myself accordingly. How do I go about this? And so this I'm trying to repackage it of not walking around timid, not being afraid. I just know the
Mhm.
area I'm in. I know the type of psychology of people in underprivileged areas. I understand that because I come from that area. And so I just
Mhm.
like to be aware of my surroundings and my situation. So now I can move accordingly. And when I move accordingly, everything takes care of itself.
Awesome. One thing I did notice about dudes in particular, I don't know if this is true for you, but because you're saying situational awareness, I know a lot of men don't like to sit with their back to the door.
Well, just being aware, I haven't actually thought about it, but when I go into a restaurant, I rather put my back to the wall because now I can
Mm.
see who comes in, who goes out, what goes on.
Mhm.
So if I have to make a quick movement, I know ain't nobody
Mhm.
behind me. I can do
And
what
I'm
I need
and
to
I'm
do.
like, why are they even thinking about that?
Well,
But
I just now I'm just speaking for me. I can't speak for anyone else.
okay.
I just
Okay.
assume because where like I said, I come from
Mhm.
not so nice area. It's not also wasn't the worst area, but it was small country town where things could always pop off. I just grew
Mhm.
up in an area where situations could always turn quickly. So I want to put myself
Wow.
in the best disposition. So if something does happen, I
Mhm.
can move
I got you.
accordingly and deal with the situation. So I'm assuming if that's what you're noticing, that I'm assuming that these guys are thinking the same way I'm thinking. Well, like, hey, if something happens, I need to know where my back at. I need to know who's in front of me and who's beside me.
Mm-hmm.
And then most important, this is what people have to always be aware of, who's with you as well. Because some people can be with you, but not be with you. And so I need to know if you with me, we understand what the assignment is. We going home as a group. If we came together 3D, all three of us got to go home together. I can't go somewhere with 3 people and I'm the only one to get home. I feel like I didn't do my job. Okay. I feel like these guys need to have understanding that they need to be trained and be aware of their situation as well. So just making sure that I can protect myself, know what's behind me, what's beside me, because what's most important is what's in front of me tomorrow, my family, my friends. And so just being aware of all of that. And it comes off like we thinking the world coming to get us. It could, but just in case if it does or it doesn't, I'm ready for it. And so that's how I approach life every day, just being ready for whatever comes. And that's being able to see.
And that's good because, when I go out, I'm thinking, fish or chicken. But I guess, you need to have more than just that in mind and be able to, like you said, be aware of your surroundings. I have to tell you one thing, though. I grew up in Chicago and I never heard of any, at least in my area, like things like bank robberies. Amazingly, not only my aunt, but my godmother here in Durham were both in banks while they were being robbed. And I was like, oh my God. And my godmother, to my amazement, she was able to get out. She said she crawled, when she saw it happening, she crawled out of the bank. And I'm like, I never even heard of stuff like that. And I'm from the south side of Chicago. And I'm going to talk about situational awareness and not freezing.
Right. She knew what her assignment was.
Got herself out of there.
Absolutely.
I was amazed by that. And I was thinking, what would I do? I'd probably freeze. Yeah. Because I was brought up gentle and sweet. I don't know about all this fighting and violence and all that stuff. And I probably would freeze. But it's good to have things on your mind so that you realize freezing is not an option.
Absolutely. And one of the ways, regardless of what your background is, if you always think about the possibilities, whether it actually occurred, whether you let it dominate your day, if you think, hey, I walk in a building with 3 doors and someone comes and take over 2, I need to be putting my back to the wall, scooting to the 3rd door. And so sometimes you got to go out of that last exit. Sometimes you're in an unfortunate situation where you go in a one way in, one way out situation. Then you kind of sort of, you got to deal with it differently. But just always surveying the scene, just being aware of where the doors are, who's standing by the doors. Because unfortunately, in Durham and other underprivileged and impoverished areas, almost anything could possibly happen in any given day. And so
it can actually happen anywhere because every now and then you hear about things happening in theaters in so-called nice areas and people not knowing how to get out and people crowding by the exits and getting, smushed and whatnot. Now, I do remember as a kid teaching my little brother what did I tell? I told him to always know the alleys and how to get out. Because I said, don't let anybody come in our neighborhood and know our neighborhood better than us. I do remember saying that. I don't know why, because I'm not particularly streetwise, but he did use that to his advantage because he did end up kind of in the streets, kind of, doing his thing. And he said that advice really came in handy to know the alleys and where they lead and all that kind of stuff.
Well, you should the situational awareness is understanding your surroundings, and so knowing where the ways out to safety is. You can't always go forward. We can't all be bulls. I don't consider myself to be a bull in a china shop, but I can tell you this much: if the bull in the china shop come in, I know how to get out of said china shop. So I won't be in there for you to ramsack and tear it apart with me still in there. You do what you must once I leave. But I will definitely make sure I remove myself accordingly.
Nice.
So,
Now, you did say that you have classes and training for women. What about older people? I do have to speak up for people in my age group. Is there ever an age that you're too old to start learning martial arts?
no, we have 60 somethings in our gym, and I've seen in
Oh,
gyms in other places where people can get as old as 80s and 90s. So,
okay.
what happens is this is a martial arts that you can do. I have kids that have started as young as 4, and like I said, we have people in our gym in their 60s. So, speaking just for my gym, 4 to 60s is acceptable. But I've seen older. What happened is all you do is learn how to adapt the martial arts. And so I wouldn't tell you to go run, jump, flip over, and land on your back of jumping off
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's back. You adapt the martial arts, the same technique, but then you present it from a different perspective. And so just being able to understand how you work with different groups. And that's one of the things I've been blessed with, having an academic background, receiving my master's degree in kinesiology from
Okay.
North Carolina Central. So I have a physical education background where I taught
Nice.
physical education for 3 years at North Carolina Central. And so what happens is I learned how to teach and work with any type of crowd, whether it be older, younger, physical capable, limited abilities. And so just understanding how to adapt the arts and physical activity for everyone.
Nice. I am so glad you came on this show. It was worth the wait because, again, we tried to do this last week. So I'm so glad you were able to make it this week, Mr. Harold Hubbard. So, folks, follow Mr. Hubbard, Pitbull Martial Arts USA on Instagram and Facebook. But you know what? You would be great on TikTok. You really
So,
would. Because I can imagine you could do show quick situations. You know what I mean?
yes, I'm gonna be
Like
honest.
somebody coming up behind you and you throwing them over your shoulder or something, then say Pitbull Martial Arts USA.
I will say I have had other people say that, but I'm one of those people that my technology skills is is super limited. So I have learned how to work on Facebook and Instagram, and that is a struggle. So I'm having to learn those two, which I have not mastered yet.
That's fine.
Before I go to the
Something
next
to work toward in the future, maybe.
Absolutely.
Because you know who could help you. You know, these young folks, they're experts. One of your students can probably help you out.
They are the ones who told me I need to be on there and start doing the reels, do something real quick, real fast, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But I would definitely have to get them to be able to set it up and tell me what to put and how to put, because I can do the actual techniques, but the running, the page, I would struggle with.
Okay. They can definitely do that. So, and since you're working with students from NCCU, mention it and they will help you, I'm sure. Because I've gotten help from young folks. The cool thing about young folks, especially today's young folks, not only are they knowledgeable, but many of them are just so kind and generous and helpful. I guess it depends on how you approach them, but that's how I see them. They're very
I've always experienced fellowship.
Smart and helpful.
Yes.
So, well, there you go. So look for Pitbull Martial Arts USA on Facebook and Instagram. Oh, are you on Twitter too, or just Facebook and Instagram?
Just Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, that's good. That's enough. That's fine. So thanks again, Harold Hubbard, for being on the show. Drop by anytime you like, especially if something changes, like if you have a new class that you want to announce. Then just drop by. I invite everyone to do so and to use Bull City Hangout to promote yourself. I'm really glad that you did so.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. I've been looking at some of your work, and I was like, "Oh, this would be super fun." So I appreciate you inviting me on. I actually enjoy your work, and I will definitely do that.
Awesome. One of these days, I'd like to drop by your gym, and maybe with permission of whatever students there, maybe I could do like a very short video to show on Bull City Hangout.
Oh, listen, you invited anytime you want. You just let me know when you're coming, and we can make that happen for you.
Awesome. I will do so. Thanks again. And you have a great weekend.
Thank you. And all y'all Facebook friends and family, y'all enjoy y'all weekend as well. And make sure you watch the Durham Skywriter show.
You know that's right. Thank you. Take care.
All right, thank you. You have a good one.
Okay, you too. That was so awesome. It was great meeting Mr. Harold Hubbard from Pitbull Martial Arts USA. So if you're interested in martial arts, that's the man. And I'm really happy to see him connecting with students from NCCU because, especially the women students, women in general, we really need to learn how to look out for ourselves because it can be kind of rough out there. And to be totally unaware and unskilled in, I'm going to say, the art of getting away. Martial arts is fine, but like Harold said, it's so important to get back home. That's what I consider the art of getting away and getting back home or back to the dorm or wherever, back to safety. Very important. So be sure to check out Pitbull Martial Arts USA. And any of you who want to promote yourselves, Colombo City Hangout, I invite you. I do this every weekday at noon, Saturdays at 10 a.m. So anyway, share this out so the more people can know what's happening in Durham. And I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? So tomorrow I will see you at 10 a.m. All right? Take care. Ciao for now.